Hey everyone, it's Angel again. Welcome back to my little world here. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be, well, hopefully it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be fun for me. And hopefully I'll give you a couple of laughs too, because it's kind of inspired by one of my very best friend in the whole world. I have two very best friends in the whole world, each on the opposite side of America. One on the West Coast, the other one on the East Coast. I'm stuck in the middle here in Texas, and you know, whatever, that's my fate. People were always trying to separate us because we were always getting into trouble, and you know, they finally won. But anyway, before I talk your head off, let me just tell you, this is going to be called Butts and Bicycles, or Bicycles and Butts. I haven't decided if I want the butt before the bicycle or the bicycle before the butt. I'm not sure. But as we get into this video, you'll see why. But I know that I mentioned in my last video that I wasn't going to be doing that, you know, that 30-day art challenge, and I'm still not on that train. But one of the things, one of the prompts that I definitely wanted to do was, I think it was the third or the fourth one. It was, you know, draw something or make something that is inspired by your favorite, you know, childhood memory. And this is like, I mean, I have a lot, but this is definitely, you know, one of them, especially when it comes to me and my best friend. So, I have this, and I'm really sorry if you are shy about naked bodies. You know, I'm just gonna give you a little warning now. I plan to put a lot of butts, you know, on this little piece of paper here. So, you know, I'm really sorry about that, but it's like I'm doing it in fun, and you'll see. So don't go anywhere. So I have this like little, I don't know, this little painting that an old friend of mine bought at a garage sale, and then she gave it to me, which is weird because I'm not, you know, one of those people who's obsessed with butts. But I'm glad she gave it to me because I can use it as a reference photo. So to start this out, I'm going to speed it up, and I'm going to draw, I'm just going to draw you know, a quick rendering of a butte. And I'm going to try to make it a little bit bigger than this. But yeah, so don't go anywhere, I promise. Just, you know, stick with me. You know, don't be like, oh God, this is gross. You know, I'm getting somewhere, and I promise. And you'll see, and you're going to have a huge laugh. Either you're going to have a huge laugh or you're going to think I'm a complete, you know, fool, but stick with me anyway. So I'm going to speed this part up. Okay, so that's the best I'm gonna get right now. I'm gonna paint this, and I'm gonna put a bunch of bicycles on here, and you're gonna die laughing when I tell you what I'm doing here, what this memory is about, and whose butt this is. Which, I mean, this isn't even, this like rendering of a butt that I've done, it's not even in any way kind of as good of a butt as whose it's supposed to be. So this butt right here is supposed to be my best friend's butt. Because, and before I tell you what happened, I have to say that my best friend, her name is Wendy. Let me clean this off. I probably should have done that, you know, before I started this video. But she just has a good butt. Let me tell you, she has a, you know, an amazing butt. And, you know, she's had that butt since we were 13. You know, she was just always, a beautiful girl, inside and outside. But she, you know, all the boys were always like, "Oh, your best friend Wendy is so hot. Can you introduce me?" Or, you know, whatever, which is great. And I have to tell, and the reason I'm telling you that is because, like, she was the one at school that, you know, all the boys were always, you know, crazy for, and she just was not even sort of interested, you know, because we were so immature, and just all we wanted to do was, like, make fun of people and make fun of ourselves. And so this memory, it'll come upon me at, like, really random, inappropriate times, and I will just start laughing because it'll just, you know, it'll come to my mind. So I'm gonna spray. I don't know how good this paper is going to do, you know, with, you know, watercolor. I don't know, we'll see. But let me, God, you know, I'm still, like, I don't know how good I am at the whole YouTube thing. So, and I haven't painted, like, a human body in so long. So, how am I gonna do this here? How am I gonna do this, guys? So, okay. Just gonna start with, I guess, some yellow ochre. So let me, I know I'm splattering, but that's okay. This is a very playful, loose kind of thing. So this is burnt sienna, not my favorite neutral. I prefer quinacridone rust, but you know, whatever. I'm not really trying to make a fleshy tone. I just kind of want, I don't know. We'll see how it ends up. This may be a disaster, but, you know, whatever. So my best friend and I, like I said, she currently lives in San Diego. Well, currently meaning probably, you know, forever, because I feel like the universe is always trying to separate us, you know, and it's like, you know, you win. We're finally separated. So, anyway, we were inseparable. She lived across the street from me. We're still inseparable. I feel like I want some purple up in here. So, like I said, she was beautiful. She's still beautiful. It's abstract, but, of course she's married now, so, you know, whatever. And it's okay, I got her permission. When I told her I was going to do this. So, okay. So, okay. So, like I said, you know, separately, we were okay. We are good girls, you know, we really were. But together, you know, if you put us together, we would get into trouble. Because we were just so silly. And we have, still to this day, we have a really, really immature sense of humor. So basically, this memory is my best friend and I, we were outside her front yard. She lives across the street from me, like I said. So we were outside her front yard and just fooling around. And there was this kid that lived down the street from us, like like maybe like 5 or 6 houses down from us. And he was kind of weird. I mean, he was very weird, strange. Like, he would just say like really weird, random things. So he kept right. So we were like just, you know, hanging out, fooling around, being two, you know, silly teenage girls. And he kept riding his bike past her house. And, you know, we didn't start it, but he started to. So we were about 14. That's probably what I should tell you. We were about 13 or 14, but, you know, even at that age, we were just so immature. Just together, we were very immature. So he kept passing by on his bicycle. Basically, he was like sexually harassing us. I mean, he was just saying some really, really, really dirty things to us, like nasty things to us. And of course, you know, he was getting a reaction out of us, which is why, you know, he kept going and going, because he was just, you know, we were like, ew, gross, get away, you know, and stuff like that. So this is so, I can't believe I'm telling you guys this story. But, so I think my best friend, her name is Wendy with an I. I think she was at that point, like, because he was, I'm not kidding, he was just saying really, really filthy things that if you caught your 12-year-old or 13-year-old son saying, you would wash his mouth out with soap. It wasn't like, you know, it was like, we'll put it this way, it was worse than like what Donald Trump, you know, got into to trouble. Well, he's not in that much trouble, he got elected, but it was basically worse than that. Like, it was really nasty, really, really, really nasty, the kind of stuff he was saying. So, so she was like, you know, I'm getting sick of this. I mean, even though we thought it was funny, because it was like, you know, here's this 12-year-old pipsqueak boy passing by on his bicycle saying nasty things to us. Like, the nerve of this guy, right? So, she just decided, and he does it one more time, she's going to give him something, you know, to really talk nasty about. And this is like, I would so not advise anybody's teenage girl to do this if they were being sexually harassed. But you know what? That was me and Wendy. That was us. Like, this sort of sadly demonstrates, you know, us at that age. So I'm going to let that dry a little bit. So he passed by on his bicycle, you know, and he said something really nasty, like, he said, oh, I remember exactly what he said. He said, close your eyes and open your legs and let me fertilize your eggs. And this is like, you know, you're probably laughing. This is like, this is tame in comparison to some of the, you know, the really, really nasty things he was saying. And so my best friend Wendy, she pulled her pants down and like mooned him. It was kind of like, you know what? You want to be naughty? You want to say nasty things? I'm going to give you something nasty to say. You know, I'm going to give you something nasty to look at. And he fell off of his bicycle. He fell off his bike, y'all. Like, he was going really slow, and like, I wish I could do the reenactment for you, but he was going like, you know, like really slow, and like, you know, he turned his little head to like, to look and keep looking, and he fell off his bike and, you know, face plant right on the ground on his bike. And he must have been like either really embarrassed about the fact that he fell off of his bike, either that or like, you know, she called his bluff basically by showing him her bootay, which he probably dreamed about looking at. And yeah, and he left us alone after that. So yeah, so that's what this little video is about, or this that's what my little project here is about. So so yeah. And I'm, you know, excuse my painting here. I'm gonna I'm gonna zap this with a heat gun. Okay, so it's dry, at least dry enough for me to improve it a little bit. Improve the butt. Yeah, so if there's even anybody left now, if it's probably like left me in a little, you know, left me behind. I want this hip to be more wide, but it's okay. I haven't drawn, I haven't done like a nude in a really long time. This isn't even a nude. This is just more like a, you know, like a funny little thing. I did do a few nudes when I was in college, but I was never really good at, you know, doing the human body, just because I have trouble with proportion, like in my regular life and in my art. So I have a very difficult time making things look, you know, 3D. I've taken a lot of classes and workshops, you know, on perspective and stuff like that. And that was kind of one of the reasons why I did not continue, you know, because I majored in art when I went to, you know, when I started college, and then I wanted to be, I wanted to be an artist, obviously, but I really wanted to teach kindergarten. At the time, I still do, really loved children, and I just thought that it was, you know, a better choice for me because I didn't see myself, you know, I just wasn't, I told myself, like, I wasn't as good as everybody else, you know, in my class. You know, they were like doing like these beautiful, like when we were doing perspective, they would do like these wonderful like cityscapes, and here I am, you know, I'm like doing like boxes basically for my cityscape. But you know, whatever. It's, you know, whatever. I'm good at what I'm good at, and they're good at what they're good at. You know, my skill level, it's not something that I brag about, but you know, like I say all the time, like it makes me doing art, whether it's good art or bad art, you know, is up to the person. I mean, people say good art or bad art, it's up to the person who's looking at it. I don't believe that. I believe that good art or bad art is up to the person who, you know, has made it. If you make something and you got something out of it, and it evoked a feeling out of you, the creator of that art, then it's good art. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So I think my little butt is... that's the best I'm gonna do, I think, with it. I got a funny story about painting nudes too for you if you're interested. So I'm just gonna put down a little bit, you know, just some interesting colors. I guess since I've got my watercolors out, I'll just go ahead and you know, and go with that. So I'm going to just lay down some funny little interesting colors, because this is probably going to be covered up anyway. I should probably get out a bigger brush. It was a summer day. So maybe I need to introduce a little bit of green, some greens, since it was a beautiful summer day. My sap green, it doesn't re-wet very well. I like it, but it doesn't really, I don't know. I'm not very happy with it. This is quinacridone magenta, I think. Right? Yeah, it's quinacridone magenta. I don't know where I have like this, I have like a paper, you know, with all of the colors painted on them, and the, names of them, but I don't know where I put. Oh, here it is. Here it is. So yeah, so that's quinacridone magenta. Yeah, that's the Daniel Smith color I was talking about my last video. Speaking of Daniel Smith, while I've got this out, like this is gonna have to dry. So I want to show you guys how my the paints that I bought last week, how they look. So I'm just going around. This is just like a random basic background because I really didn't want to you know, do the whole nude. This is gonna be like all covered up anyway, but while that's drying, I'll show you guys. So I let me put this here for just a second. You know, when I was fooling around, if you watched my last video and you were curious about how my the paints that I bought at that estate sale came out, I did a little you know, just a little page, you know, with this different colors on in my my watercolor diary journal, and I'm really, oh god, I love the Raw Umber Violet. This one, I think out of everything that I got, this one is my favorite. All of them are, well, all of them with the exception of these three, or these four, sorry, were like, you know, pearlescent. And I don't know if you can see, can't really see, maybe in that, well here, maybe in this duochrome saguaro green. Hopefully that's showing up. But, and they, like I expected with Daniel Smith colors, maybe they're just old, I'm not sure, but they don't re-wet or flow very well. I find them to be very like gummy, kind of. I don't know, but like look at these two. Look at the vibrancy of those two, and even this one. The, what do they call that? The granulation. The granulation. Anyway, I just thought I would show you. I'll probably do a flip through of this one day. And then another thing that I wanted to ask you guys, like, so this is kind of like what the kind of work that I like to do. This is like, you know, typical of what I like to do. I used a reference, I used a photo from I think a Southern Living magazine as a reference for this little, you know, garden scene. But let me know if you'd like to see, you know, like this kind of stuff. I mean, my skill level is not anywhere near, you know, Lindsay Weird, the Frugal Crafter, or Angela Fair, or the Mind of Watercolor, you know, all that stuff. I mean, all of those, you know, wonderful artists. But that is what I like to do. I mean, watercolor is the love of my life. So I'm gonna let this dry. I thought I had it on. I thought my camera was on, but it wasn't. But I just all I did was add a little bit more of the, you know, the color around my little butt here, and I think just to, you know, break it up and like just to make it a little bit more interesting, I have this pretty paper here. I'm just gonna cut a piece of it off and kind of you know, do something like that. And I like, you know, I like threes. I don't like twos. I like threes. I like to do things in threes. So gonna, yeah, I like that. So, okay, so there we go, here we are. So, all right, I feel like I'm getting somewhere. Oh, this is a new one. Oh, look, they started doing purple too. I had a Scotch glue stick for a really long time, and so I must have bought it like years ago because I didn't realize that they were doing, you know, they were making them purple now, like the Elmer's ones. Actually, I like the way this is going on a lot more than my Elmer's stick. So yeah. So yeah, I'm not serious today. This isn't a serious piece. I mean, I'm never serious, though. I just think that if you take your art too seriously, excuse my little crying puppy. I think there's a bird or something she wants to go out there and kill. And I'm a bad mother because I won't let her roam the streets of Texas killing innocent animals. But yeah, I'm not. I mean, I do take art very, very, very seriously, but if it's not fun, and it makes me miserable because I'm like too serious about it, and I'm like, oh, this sucks, or it's no good, or this or that. Like, what is the point? What would the point be anymore? I wouldn't want to do it anymore if I felt that way. So, okay, all right. So that's kind of looking like something. I have these bicycle stickers. I think this one of my neighbors found this. She found this and like the piece of an earring or something on the ground, and she asked me if it was mine, and I said no. But I told her to give it to me anyway so that I could use it, for something. So here it is being used. So yay me. I just don't know if I want to put this bicycle here. I mean, I've got these two. And they're clear like this. I like to cut them out so that I can put them in different places and figure out where I want them. I know I like that bird, but I don't know if I'm going to use that bird. This bird right here. I put this bird. I guess I could put that bird anywhere, but yeah. That's more like what his bicycle looked like, not this. This isn't the sort of bicycle that you ride when you're going to go, sexually harass random teenage girls. Yeah. This is the one. I kind of liked that one down there. Right, a little orange. A little bit of orange. Yeah, I like that. So, okay, I'm going to glue that. So that's going down. Okay. I really would like to get more stickers, y'all. I haven't been shopping, like craft shopping in a couple weeks. But when I went, I didn't go crazy, but I did spend a little bit because I got like all those ribbons. Like I got a lot of ribbons. I've been kind of into ribbons lately. Speaking of ribbons, maybe I'll put one down on here. So yeah, I can't wait to show this to my my best friend. She's gonna laugh. My other best friend, we were all best friends because we lived in the same neighborhood. But my other best friend, she didn't live across the street, but she lived a couple streets, over, within a bike ride over. I found another bicycle, y'all. She's coming to visit me in, oh, you can't really see that. Okay, I gotta find something that will stand out on. I'll put a hold on that. But she's gonna come visit me, my other best friend. She's gonna come visit me in July. My husband's going on a short surf trip, and so she'll be here to keep me company. so I don't have to be in here by myself.